one of the questions I always get asked is, how do I get more showings on my house? The number one thing that people look at is your curb appeal. And one of the best things you can do for curb appeal is get a really good landscaper. And so I've got Zach here from Husky Landscaping. Thanks for coming on the show.
You're welcome. Glad to be here.
Great. So now, a question for you. What makes a really good landscaper versus just kind of an okay landscaper?
I think it's the ability to be creative with the information that the customers give you and to be able to put that in either in the design or put it into the landscape.
Yeah, kind of give them ideas, kind of walk them through the process, because if they're hiring you, they don't know how to do it, right?
Exactly, and I try to get a feel for people's personality and put their personality into the landscape.
That's so important. That makes complete sense.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. So how much does it cost for a landscape designer?
For us, it depends. If we are doing the landscape, just the design, it can range anywhere from $300 to $1,000, depending on how large the property is.
And then, of course, how much does it cost for the actual landscaper?
If you're looking for a budget, if that's what you're asking, just for a budget, you probably want to budget 5 to 10% of the value of the home.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And of course, that depends on the size of the lot, of course, right?
Exactly.
Because that could vary greatly. Yeah. Okay. Good. So, do you guys help them pick out the right plants for the different areas and all that kind of stuff?
Definitely. And when people use our expertise, that's when we really can get involved and give them the plants that are going to thrive in Utah and be able to be green. You always want things to be green.
Yeah, want them to look nice, right?
Exactly.
So are we in a drought? I know we're really close because it seems like we don't have much water right now. Are we in a drought situation right now?
Yeah, we're always in a drought situation. We're in a desert and we've got to landscape accordingly.
Yeah, well, look, we're lucky we have the mountains, right? Can we get a little snow off of those?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, wonderful. Well, let's head on out and look at this project you've been working on.
So this is what we created. It's the Deher family. About a year ago, we came and met with them, and they were a little bit apprehensive about how to go about their landscaping. So we sat down with them, and it kind of just came about sitting down at their dinner table and say, what do you want? And they started out with their design elements or their ideas, and they wanted it simple and they wanted it elegant. So this is what happened.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I love how flat it is. I always like that kind of style.
Nice and smooth. They wanted some areas that they could plant themselves, so we didn't want to just load it up with a bunch of our own ideas. We left some areas on purpose vacant so that they can kind of gain their own green thumb, if you will. So you start off with the Cherokee walkway up front. They just wanted to be able to access the front door from the sidewalk so you didn't have to walk all the way around the driveway.
And they want that kind of natural feel going up
Exactly. And they took a couple of our ideas as far as like the plantings. We've got a Japanese maple. We've also got a concolor fir, and we added that on the other side. The homeowner, the only thing he wanted to do was to place the boulders. And he placed them a little bit different than I would have done it, but it also, to me, I think it added a lot to the landscape because it's his own little touch. It's his house.
Beautiful.
He might as well, add that little element to it.
Simple and elegant, just like you designed. Well, let's take a look at the backyard here.
They added this vinyl picket fence with kind of some intrigue to the backyard.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we intentionally left out some of the plantings because they want to gain their own green thumb. They want to be able to come out here and try out and test some of the plants that everyone claims grow well in Utah. So they can get a feel for what grows well here.
No, our climate can be very challenging for a landscape, right?
Oh, it's hard. I mean, we've got hot, dry climates. We've got really high alkaline soil. So if you don't plant the right plants, they'll never thrive.
Yeah.
They'll grow, but they'll always look pretty sad.
Yeah.
So you want to.
You got to put them in the right areas around the house, depending on the sun and exposure.
And we have all of those options. We've been doing it now for 11 years, so that we know what grows well here. We know what to expect. Their idea of their backyard is they wanted to have all of the kids come and play in their yard. So it's very simple, very laid out, so that they can play a soccer game, a football game, whatever it may be. And so they wanted a big open play field. They first of all wanted the garden on this side of the home, but I recommended putting it on the west because there's going to be more sun exposure so that they get a better yield on their vegetables. And you can see that it worked.
It's working really well, apparently.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, let's continue on. Yeah, you've done a great job. I love how flat it is. It's almost like a park.
Yeah, and they just kept saying simple, simple, simple.
Yeah.
So we just kept that same design element going.
And when these trees build out, it's going to be like a beautiful park. Huh?
The only thing they wanted, we added these 3 call them their horn beans, just to be able to provide some shade to the patio. In the summer months when the sun's going down, they can have a place to sit that's in the shade.
Yeah, well, good for you. All right, Zach. Well, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Yeah,
Beautiful
appreciate
job. Excellent, excellent work. And we'll be right back just after this.